Fake deals behind closed doors, promises broken. Inner income source, hidden agendas run the grand parade. In the circus, choose a masquerade. Believe me, I wouldn't lie. I've been given money, power, and fame to keep you in line. Television screens bright and loud, sell you dreams, make you proud. Pop the bubble, see the cage you're in. Start the revolution, let the truth begin. Welcome to the chaos.
What's up, everyone? I am already eating. I'm here with Daemon, and we're waiting to see if Jake goes live on his debate with Destiny so that we can all watch it together and react. But until Jake goes on, we'll just talk some shit. So, how are you doing today, Daemon?
I'm good. I'm not eating because I'm not a fat whore, but otherwise all good.
Well, we actually have no way of knowing that, so that's not fair.
Well, no, I can reassure you that I'm not. It's late here. I ate at a sensible time. It's already gone midnight. So,
All right.
Where's Steve? Is he still slaving away in the kitchen on your second meal?
Well, he doesn't want to eat on stream for some reason.
It's called politeness.
Oh, whatever. You know, like, I don't understand why everyone's so sensitive about it. It's just food. You guys don't like go and have dinner with your friends now that it's like so weird for someone to like have conversations with food. This generation.
People don't take a shit live on stream. Same thing as what you're doing now, except it's on the way out. It's like manners, cat. Like, carry on, stuff your face. It's all good.
Yes. Anyways, so I'm not gonna say who, but I think like another YouTuber that I know that's like a chick. So that kind of narrows it down, but whatever. I feel like she was commenting once on like my lack of professionalism.
No.
I know, right? Anyways, why are women like this? Like, oh, sometimes you shouldn't like roll out of bed with no makeup and without your hair done and just start talking with nothing planned. It's like, why are you so mean? Like, why are women like this? Can't I just live my life? Like, why do I have to look like
You look different today. You look very shiny.
Oh yeah, I have this like highlighter thing that I got and I just smeared it.
Okay. It's like you just dunked your face in baby oil.
Oh my gosh. Actually, that's what I used to do. Not baby oil, obviously, because that is going to give you like zits or some shit. But I have a face oil that I would smear on my face with no makeup, and people would like think.
Schmear. You sound so Jewish.
Oh, is schmear like a Jewish word? Schmear. Like,
sounds
I guess
it.
Like a cream cheese schmear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
of course you would relate it to food. Yeah.
Okay. Also, we have
Sorry, I'm in a bitchy mood.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. We need that channeled for next weekend when we're gonna do the troll off.
Oh, yeah, you need to explain that to me.
Okay, so we're gonna have a
troll. First,
what?
Jake, the Jake thing. We're here for Jake today. Solidarity for Jake.
Well, I don't know who this guy is, but it's not Jake, and he doesn't look very smart. Like, just off of, I don't know, head shape. You know, I don't feel like he's got anything to say. So I'm going to wait until Jake goes on. But Jake is supposedly getting like 5-10 minutes to debate Destiny.
I think he said it was 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's a anti-Trump tour, which is hilarious. So Destiny's going around, and I guess he's trying to find like people he thinks he could totally like destroy. So Jake was chosen. And we'll see if Jake makes us proud. Look, I don't really care if he destroys him. I just don't want him to embarrass us. That's all I'm
saying. Jake was being pretty humble on, I think it was his stream, or was it when he hopped on yours? I can't remember. And he was saying like, I just don't want to get wrecked. And I was like, I've heard Jake's arguments. He's like, this is foreign territory for him, and I don't know how he performs under pressure, but I've heard some of his stuff. We had a couple of chats, and if he paces himself and if he's not too nervous, I mean, he's pretty exhausted. I think he's traveled quite far. He's been kind of like up for a while, but he says that he's chilled out, and depending on the topic, because it's weird. I think he wasn't really fully told how it's all going to be set up, but he's not sure if he's got a choice of what topics he can pick, or if they've got pre-planned topics, which obviously means that Destiny would have had like all the fucking time in the world to prepare for this ahead of time. And if it's going to be that the people he debates against just get given a random topic, and it could be, for example, quite specific, then obviously they won't have any time to prep. So like, it's going to be Destiny who's fully prepped against a bunch of people who haven't had any prep time. But Jake and I have been kind of discussing a few things, and on his stream, obviously he covers a lot of topics that are kind of pretty central to the conservative side. So I think he's pretty confident on the stuff that means something to him. So as long as he gets given something that he's aware of and he's passionate about, I think he can cover it pretty well.
So wait, so he can like spring anything on it, like a specific policy that Jake knows jack shit about, and make him look stupid?
Well, yeah, I mean, just look at Destiny's debate tactics. I don't think that we can call what Destiny's doing unfair, because people from the conservative movement have been doing this stuff for a while. I know that some of the guys from the Daily Wire and a lot of the Turning Point USA people have been doing this, where they do like a kind of 14v1 or a 20v1 thing. It's a whole bunch of like right-wing people or like nutbag progressives that they kind of debate against.
Yeah.
And obviously they're all prepped, and the progressives are happy to kind of open their mouth about anything they don't fucking know about. So, I mean, the conservatives have been doing this to the lefties for a while now. So I don't think you can kind of complain that it's unfair when Destiny does the same thing but just flips the script.
Yeah.
But I'm just pointing out to kind of show that like they haven't been given a heads up. It hasn't been like, hey, you're gonna fully know what we're going to talk about. These are the talking points. You present your side, I'll present my side. But you know, you'll have other people who will be like, look, you can prep, you can come at me with whatever you want, prep ahead of time, tell me what you want to debate about. Like Andrew Wilson, for example, does that. He gives people time to prep on whatever the fuck they want. And I think he only takes like a day or something to prep before that. But I mean, this is Destiny's approach. That's what he does. But like, we're going to know if Jake does well or not, because if Destiny tries to do his conversation killers or kind of like just, you know, spurging and kind of filibustering, which is what he does, as soon as he does that and starts kind of like talking 120 words a minute and trying to cut Jake off all the time, then you know Jake's gotten under his skin.
I just don't want him to do like, you know, like the senseless name calling that doesn't really make sense. I don't think he'll do that. I don't think Jake.
What, you think Jake's going to call him the N-word? I was like, oh, if Jake calls him the N-word, it's going to be fantastic. I told Jake that he should get MS-13 tattoos, just like fake MS-13 tattoos when you go up there. That would be amazing. I mean, you might want to be careful, because Destiny might want to fuck him if he sees him looking like an illegal. But
Destiny would want to anyways. Let's be real.
Another thing I told Jake is I was like, go there and try and be like really humble beforehand, and bring him a gift bag. Just be like, "Oh, thanks for giving me the opportunity," and just present him with a gift. And inside it would be a butt plug. And I told Jake, "Please do that." And he was like laughing. He said he might think about it, but it would be brilliant if he did that.
I mean, brilliant, but I don't know. I think
You got to use some psychological warfare.
maybe like afterwards when he's leaving, hand him the gift, and then he kind of like looks at it, and like you get the reaction, and we know. But like, if he takes that out immediately, he might just be like,
It might go one of two ways. He might be offended, or he might kind of think like, "Hey, man, are you into this too? Do you want to kind of stay behind and play?" Which would make it way more awkward.
wow. Well, Destiny looks very thin and dorky.
Well, we saw the text messages. We know that that's what he's into.
What, thin and dorky people?
No, the butt plugs.
Oh yeah. Wait, I didn't. Oh yeah.
You covered this on your show, Kat.
I know. I remember reading it with Steven, but yeah, hilarious. Anyways, so maybe we should put it on the side, but like mute for now, so we can make fun of these people until Jake gets there. So Destiny looks like a little child. Oh yeah, we have to talk about the roast first. So this is what I want to do. So the options are that we do like a verbal roast, like when you go to like a comedy roast type of thing where you get like 2 minutes. You get to say like a little roast about, you know, whoever is there, or like pick someone specifically. So I think it's like good to have like 2 minutes per person kind of like planned out, but like obviously not everybody knows everyone else. So
I was gonna say, you told me these people, and like, no offense, I just don't know who they are. Like,
exactly. So it would
I
just
know
be like,
Jake.
yeah.
Jake. The sad thing is that I can be very offensive if it's somebody I genuinely don't like. If it's somebody I like, it's difficult for me to roast them. I can't. I'm not really like that.
Oh my God. Come on. Are you serious?
I'm generally not like that. I'm not like you mentioned beating cheeks and Jake.
Yes.
Jake, I've got a relationship with where we do like to be offensive. So I could talk shit about Jake in a jokey way.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got no problem doing that. But the thing is with Cheeks, that dude is my fucking spirit animal. I couldn't think of a single bad thing to say about Cheeks. That dude is amazing. I couldn't fucking roast that dude if I tried.
Oh my God. Well, I will say that yours is the least roasty, the one I did. And then Jake's and Cheeks is like messed up.
What could you say bad about Cheeks?
So bad. I can't say it now because then you guys won't like. I'm worried that like he might like just leave. But
who,
again,
Jake or Cheeks?
both of them. I don't know if they can actually take this. But you know what? We're gonna try it because you know it's fun to laugh at yourself, I think. But yeah, I don't know what to say about Simperius. I mean, I really don't know much about him that I could like go off of.
Oh my God, chairman of the board is hilarious. The roast. Oh shit.
Okay, guys, remember the roast has been moved to next Saturday because some people couldn't do Sunday, and I want to make sure everybody's there.
Just FYI for chairman, though, I don't have a wife. If I did have one and she had a boyfriend, I wouldn't have a wife. They'd both be buried in the backyard.
Oh my God. Oh, also, you have to tell us, Daemon, some stuff about you so that everybody can roast you. You have to give people like some of like like your story, so we can like pull things from it to properly roast you, because you're a little cagey. So you have to give us something. It doesn't have to like tell us who you are, like where we can track you down, but just like a little something.
Oh, okay, I get it. Like give you ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck that. That's not happening.
What the
You
fuck?
think I'm fucking dumb?
Yeah. Okay, how's this? Did you play any sports when you were little?
Yeah, I've already told you about that.
I know you play like something like rugby, I guess.
Rugby and basketball mainly.
Okay, okay. Were you in like a private school?
I was for a little while, because I got a scholarship
Broke
for
up.
sports.
You broke
Huh?
up. You conveniently broke up.
Well, no, I moved around a lot, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was abroad. I was kind of like raised around a few different countries.
All right, so you got what kind of country? Can you tell us any of the countries you went to? And why did
Uh,
you have to go to other countries?
Sorry, what?
Why did you have to go to other countries?
I just moved around, um, partly because of war,
Uh-huh.
and partly because of just family and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, UK, Croatia, uh, Germany, France, Italy, America, a couple of times in America, like back and forth, um, and Portugal for a little while, and
So like how
then
many
parts of Asia.
languages?
I learned French and German pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously, like I haven't spoken in about like 15 to 20 years now,
Mm-hmm.
but I can understand them. Speaking them, not so good. Um, Portuguese, I learned a little bit, um, but that's it. Like Croatian, I still speak pretty fluently. I think French and Croatian I speak pretty okay. Like Croatian probably better because I spent the most time there.
But like, why were you moving? Can you give us like a hint, like a general thing? Was it because your parents wanted to move? Like every time? Okay, maybe a few times you guys had to move, but were there any
So
like
some of it was work opportunities for family.
mm,
That's the main one predominantly was work opportunities for family. And then schooling, there was like a question of like possibly I'd go to school in America.
mhm.
Um, I had I had pretty good sports prospects when I was younger, so there was a kind of idea of like maybe
Wait,
going to
hold
get
on.
like
Is this Jake?
Find me out,
I
man.
can't
The
see it's tiny.
guidance is great here. So Destiny, yeah, thanks guys. Here.
Oh yeah,
So Destiny, I wanted to ask you this, man. You've stated in the past that I guess that the MAGA right is notorious for violence. You've said this. You've called them degenerates, etc. That Trump kind
oh
of
this would be a good
manipulated
topic.
the rhetoric and the actions of Trump supporters. Am I more or less correct on that?
I don't usually criticize them for violence. I think I think the tendency, I mean, especially since the BLM stuff, there's more, at least cumulatively, violence for left-leaning people. But I would also kind of expect that right now, given the state of affairs. So
Oh, okay. So wait, when you say that you expect the violence from the left on the state of affairs,
as in, like, if you have like a certain system where people feel like somebody is completely and totally out of line, and that person is using the power of the executive to be totally out of line, well, they're like,
Well,
what's the
how do you
answer?
excuse it for the
An
past 4
uprising.
years then?
They would have nothing to protest. They'd have nothing to ride over. I imagine it would be probably more left-leaning people that would be rioting.
that would be rioting.
Yeah.
So, like for example, like the Tesla burnings that were happening, there it was all premeditated. They had the what is it, the DogeChase.com or something like that, that kind of premeditated all that. So, like my thing is that when I look at the Trump election and how he got elected, and maybe I can ask you this. I think one of the reasons that Trump got elected in the first place was because when you say, like, for example, with your other opponent here, when you say the MAGA right is a cult, I'm thinking in my head that the Democratic Party at this point is actually a cult as well. You know, regardless of what it is. Now,
Who's our cult leader?
oh well, here's the thing. I don't know who the cult leader is, but it's
Wasn't
the
that kind of
Democratic Party as a
important?
whole, right? No, well, here's the thing. It could be a cult without it because, like, for example, vote blue no matter who. You've heard that phrase, right? The anti-Trump tour, like we're on right now. It's a cult that's against Trump no matter what, right? So we've seen this to where Elon Musk at one point had the Tesla vehicles that a lot of left-wing people were buying. Then, of course, Elon Musk wasn't necessarily supporting Trump at first. He was a Ron DeSantis guy, etc. Then he turned to Trump. Then we saw that after he supported Trump and he donated it to him, we saw a lot of the left wing kind of burn down Teslas and be violent about this, right?
Well, I don't really think that was the only thing he did. I think it was also the fact that he joined Trump as an unelected bureaucrat and began unilaterally shuttering federally approved agencies in the government.
He doesn't need to be elected. That's the
engaged
dumbest
in
thing.
the most insane over-the-top rhetoric on X.
What's the most
platform.
insane over the top?
By constantly calling for judges to be impeached or imprisoned, or saying that
Which judges? I'm not too sure.
the recent judge that just made a ruling related to basically anytime a new TRO gets issued, I think maybe he's done it for the Zini lawyer. I think he's done it for Brasberg. But he tweets about judges
So
all the time.
he wanted to get them removed because
Because he doesn't like it when they issue a TRO against Trump. But wait, just real quick, you're not familiar with Elon engaging in any like anti-judicial rhetoric on X?
Like, I know Elon Musk has stated that he doesn't like these individuals, which is fair enough. He has his opinion, right?
But it's not just his opinion, right? He's like the richest man in the world, who's the
yeah,
right-hand
sure,
man of
but
the
you have
president.
an opinion too. Like, for
I'm
example,
not an elected official. I don't work in government.
Well, you have a huge influence when it comes to your audience, right?
Yeah, but I don't work in government.
Yeah, but what does that matter? Like, here's the thing.
Well, if
When
I
it
was
comes
part of
to-
the government
when-
and I
when
was
it
calling
comes
for
to-
another part of the government to be destroyed, I think
Yeah,
that'd
but
be
I would
really
make an
scary.
argument that influencers and even actors, etc., actually have more influence on the public than even politicians.
Than most politicians, it's
Than
probably
most
true.
politicians, yeah, that's
But
why.
Donald Trump, because he's a cult leader, probably
Sure,
not.
but even with you, I think you have more influence than on the public than most politicians. wouldn't you say?
Individual, yeah, that's probably true.
Probably true. That's
Yeah.
what
Than
I'm
most
saying.
for sure, especially city
Yeah.
council.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you say, "Well, I don't work in government," at the same time, I could say, "Yeah, but you have more influence on the public than most politicians." Right?
No, I agree. I was just pointing out why people would probably have such a visceral reaction to everything Elon Musk has done. I think it's super warranted that people would feel horrified by it.
Right. No, yeah, for sure. Okay, I get you there. But I wanted to shoot this back here. When you were stating that, when I was stating that one reason that I think that Donald Trump specifically won this election was also because I think that the left, like you admitted earlier, is notorious for violence, right? We had the BLM riots, the Chaz that happened, right, in Seattle, the Tesla burnings. So I think a lot of the people that voted for Trump was also noticing that the left is absolutely lunatics when it comes to this type of rhetoric. And Maxine Waters, even in 2016, when she was, when Trump won his first term, where she was saying, "Get in the face of MAGA supporters." When I was, because I'm from South Texas, I would wear a fucking MAGA hat at a bar, and I was getting attacked by people that didn't like that. You know, I think this is what drove a lot of people towards Donald Trump to vote for him. Wouldn't you say?
I mean, it's possible.
Don't you think it's
So
like
what?
kind of a big deal though?
No, because I think that they don't talk about any of the violence that their side is ever supporting, either explicitly or implicitly, at all points in time as well. So how am I supposed to feel bad that people are complaining about Tesla dealerships being burned down, but then they're clapping when people are being deported without due process from this country? I have absolutely no sympathy.
Oh, catch him on that. Catch him on that, Jake.
Like, the left is so bad, and they won't disavow these people.
Burning
Even the left
things
is
down versus
all the
clapping.
time. When Biden,
I don't
That's a
see
big
the left-
fucking difference
Well,
there.
I don't know how much you're looking at.
Well, I watch your show.
Okay, well,
Like, for
Biden
example,
literally.
like, you
wait,
didn't
wait,
even
Biden-
disavow. You didn't even disavow the assassination of Donald Trump, bro.
I wish it was the assassination attempt. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, but am I right
Jokes.
there, Destiny? Come on, man. Come on,
Just
man.
jokes.
Come
Just
on, man.
jokes. Just jokes. So you can have a standard for my behavior. You can talk about whether my behavior is over the line or not. But
Right.
I think it's very different when you compare the behavior of somebody in government versus me, who's like a
But
pundit.
also, you're a guy that has more influence than politicians. That's my point.
Yeah, but it's a different
here.
type
And
of
the vast
influence.
majority.
It's a different type of influence, though, right?
What's the difference? Tell me.
There's a different expectation for behavior for things that that I would have versus somebody who's part of the government. Would you
Yeah.
agree, or do you think it's
Yeah,
the same?
I would agree that
Yeah.
your influence would actually affect people's behavior more so than some random person.
No,
in
it's not.
politics, though.
It's about the expectation of like behavior or what would be proper. So if I was an elected official and I was working in the executive branch, it means something a lot different for me to say I hate this judge
Right.
than if I was just like a pundit. I was like, I hate this judge. I think it makes
Right,
bad
right,
rulings.
right.
Those are so you can have a totally different standard expectation of behavior, regardless of how many people you influence or not, just based on the role that you occupy.
Yeah. Well, I get you there, but like my point is that I think you have way more influence than the vast majority of politicians. So that's why I'm saying like when you shoot the rhetoric when Corey, fucking don't even remember the guy's last name, Corey come something, I don't know, but he passed away, and you were stating something, and you doubled down on Pierce Morgan. You said fuck Corey, fuck his supporters, etc. I think also with your rhetoric when you were stating that stuff, I think that leaned a lot of people watching that sit and said, Destiny's a fucking psychopath. I don't want to vote for Kamala Harris or the Democratic Party.
Yeah, but
Like,
at
wouldn't
some
you say
point,
that kind of
at some point, it like I don't want to change the diaper of a 25-year-old. Like for somebody to go online and to be making like all of these jokes as Dave Rubin had, and he was on that episode with me about the guy that the
Pop Pelosi?
psychotic dude,
Oh.
yeah, that broke into Pelosi's house
Sure.
and was like with a fucking hammer was smacking this dude. It was insane and unhinged. And then again to like have the tears whenever it happens on their side. I think I would rather be unhinged and force the conversation than have to live in this world where the left constantly has to apologize for all of its own stuff and the right pretends that nothing ever happens on their side. Because
Yeah,
like
I
the
think
same,
the
the very,
opposite there.
what?
though. Yeah, I'm thinking the opposite there, Destiny. Like it's
Then
kind of
what
crazy
Donald
because
Trump came in and he
when-
pardoned every single J6er and nobody on the
Yes.
right cared.
Yeah, well, look at the thing. Joe Biden pardoned his entire family and like what is it, 8,000 people before he left office.
So the
right?
well the
But-
large so two different things. The large
Okay.
swaths of people that were pardoned, that was like a technicality for commuting sentences.
do you
because of
agree
stuff
that
served
Hunter
over-
Biden should have been pardoned? When-
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. And I think that because he has no tact or political understanding.
You
whatsoever,
can't
Donald Trump-
debate a guy seriously
Donald
who
Trump
says
one
something
year
like that,
on
who doubles down.
his NBC interview, and he said, I can't go after any of the people on the J6 Select Committee because Biden pardoned them.
Well, yeah, that's true, though, right?
Yeah,
It's
but-
not, it's not like he's lying there. He can't go after
He
them.
wanted to go after them politically. There are no crimes here. He just wants to target, and we've seen this administration, would you agree, has engaged in the targeted lawfare.
I would say that even the Biden administration had the targeted log against Donald Trump as well.
And what, give one example of that?
Okay,
The
well, for
fact
example,
that he
for
accused the
example,
right of targeted
real
lawfare is
estate,
hilarious.
under, Donald Trump's real estate, right? He said his real estate over there in Florida,
Mar-a-Lago, yeah.
yeah, that shit. It was worth $18 million, right? We can see from the papers that shit's worth at least 600 million. They're going after his real estate to kind of backtrack on him.
Well,
so
yeah,
that
but wait,
way-
what does that have to do with Biden? This is a,
Well, because it's targeted prosecution.
but it's not
Because
Biden.
you asked me the question. Give me
No, I asked you.
asked me
Give
to
me,
give
show
you
me
an
something.
example of that.
Donald Trump is writing executive orders, literally
No,
targeting.
I'm answering
people
your question though, Destiny. You asked me give you an example of
of
that.
Biden doing
where-
it.
Well, no, the Democratic Party. Remember, you guys are the vote blue no matter who party. You guys are the cult of that, right? It's not like you guys go after Donald Trump. When it comes to the Republican Party, it's kind of, I would say, probably 70-30, where it's like MAGA and then Republican, right? Your Nikki Haley's, Mike Pence, etc., the ones that don't support Donald Trump. So it's kind of more divided than the Democratic Party. You guys are a lot more united on that, right?
Donald
and-
Trump literally ejected his entire.
When it comes to
past-
Trump, guys, when it comes to Trump, everybody from the progressive side, from the liberals, all of you guys are anti-Trump. I mean, this is just a big
yeah, because
time-
but I mean, like, wouldn't that make sense if the guy is so divisive and the Republicans are super pro-Trump? Like the approval rating.
mean
didn't-
Oh, Jake
No,
should be
she's-
catching all of these
Haley's super
statements.
pro-Trump.
yeah, they all
Fuck
support
no,
her now.
she's not, dude.
You can say
Not-
that,
not
but
even to
Donald
that
Trump, the
degree.
only thing that was buoying his approval for so long was the fact that on the Republican side, literally no matter what he did, it was like 88%, 92%, 87%, 90%
Yeah.
approval. Like, yeah, it had pretty wide support from the majority of the Republican Party.
No, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But like, even
But just on the thing. So like,
Yeah.
because I can think of several horrible like legal targeting things that Donald Trump has led, but can you think of anything that Biden or Biden's administration? So not a judge in Florida, but like something that
Opening
Biden.
the
Or
border?
that judge could just be an asshole judge, right? It's not necessarily Biden on that.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to the
Shipping-
Democratic,
shipping
I don't
illegal
think Biden, of
protectors,
course, is he was the Democratic Party for 4 years.
allowing people to
Yeah.
steal like a fucking
Also the
$1,000
Democratic
without
Party
considering it a
as
felony.
whole, that's what I'm saying, where you guys are a lot more notorious for violence. And that's why I'm saying my point here is that a big reason why Donald Trump won that election, not only because of the assassination attempt, right, which you said you wish the bullet hit him, that would have been the best thing. Didn't happen, thank God.
I didn't say those words exactly, but
Well, something along those lines. I think you said it with Rob Noor or somebody
Okay.
along those lines. I can't remember exactly.
You got about a
But-
minute, Jake.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
got
you. But my point is that I think that with that type of rhetoric, along with, for example, You guys lying about Joe Biden's, mental health, right? That was another big one. Jake Tapper on CNN.
Why do you assume that people lied about his health and weren't just either coping or?
Well, even well, that's my point here. Even Jake Tapper.
Wait, you can't say that's
Jake Tapper is literally writing a book about how he covered up, CNN covered up Joe Biden's.
If there was a coordinated effort to
health.
cover up Joe Biden's mental health, why did they let that debate happen?
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, you can't just say that's
they
the
let
thing.
it happen.
No, that
Yes,
totally contradicts
this
the
is
entire
why.
narrative
This
you
is
gave.
why they let it happen specifically because they let it happen. They let him train for like what, a week or something like that by himself. They wanted to prep him for that because they couldn't avoid. They can't avoid a debate.
Of course, Trump dodged the debate when he was running. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They let Biden debate. He got totally smashed, right? But
I don't understand how, if there was a whole coordinated effort to cover up Biden's senility, why would they ever let him debate?
Before, they couldn't hold it up.
They thought that they could. They thought they could control it with the media covering.
Well, then that's going to make them look bad.
Didn't Donald Trump avoid a second debate with Kamala? Didn't Donald Trump avoid debating any of the?
No, he didn't.
Nikki Haley or DeSantis?
He didn't need to debate Kamala, bro.
This is the all roads lead to Rome thing, right? So he can do the exact same behavior you said that Biden couldn't get away with doing.
Well, Destiny, look at it like this, dude. You're a top tier debater. Why would you, unless you get something? In other words, debating me, you get nothing out of this, right? The only thing that gets something out of this debate is me, right? So when Trump is gonna debate Kamala for the second time, he gets nothing out of that. At that point, Joe Biden looks like a moron. The assassination attempt already happened. The only thing Donald Trump has to do is just fuck it. I don't care to debate Kamala because he feels he already has the debate in the bag.
I understand the political savy that goes into this,
well,
the
yeah,
calculation, but I'm just saying that
why he avoided that second debate.
Yes, and you're giving me the logical reason. But when we look at Biden doing a debate, if he was truly being covered for by the entire Democratic establishment, then it stands to reason that they would find reasons for him not to do the debate.
Yeah, but they had to do it eventually, right?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They can just say we don't do debates. He's too divisive.
Okay, and then they're gonna lose the election. This is why it's like
they lost anyway. No,
and yeah, they lost anyways for sure. So it didn't work. But that's what I'm saying. I think the Democratic Party probably should have got rid of Biden earlier, and then put in Kamala Harris. Which, by the way, nobody here voted for Kamala Harris to be the representation of the Democratic Party.
Sure. So let's say
Trump is obviously the threat to democracy there.
Well,
right?
because in 2020 he tried to make it so none of the votes mattered, and he could just have Pence say who won the election. I would say that's probably worse. The issue with the story, the narrative.
And the illegals don't affect anything either, I'm sure.
Democrats were all in lockstep. Like, there's two stories. Okay. Either people were genuinely torn on, like, is he just old? Is he actually senile? What's going on? And they just kind of like kept it going, because why would you take out a person who just beat this guy in the last election? Why would you run somebody different and get rid of your incumbent advantage and get rid of a guy who already beat? Like, that's a really
probably
extraordinary
because
thing to do.
he has mental health
That's
issues.
fine, but like, were they genuinely confused about that? Or was there a top-down plot to cover up how senile he was the entire time that went through all of the media and all of the presidency, but they weren't strong enough to just not have one debate?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, here's the thing, Jake Tapper. And here's the thing: you want to paint the picture to where it's like, okay, they wanted to cover it up. Even Jake Tapper in CNN, who is writing a book about this called "The Cover Up" on Joe Biden's health.
Do you normally cite Jake Tapper on things you believe, or just in this one time?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I watch CNN plenty of times, man. I watch.
Do you
CNN,
normally
I watch
cite
yourself,
CNN as a credible source? As like
I could cite him at times. Yeah, sure. When the argument's here, I'm just saying Jake Tapper had inside information. Wouldn't you say that Jake Tapper has better information than you?
Without even reading the book, my guess is going to be what he's saying.
That was a poor point. That was a poor point.
Coverage because they weren't sure and they didn't want him to look bad. But not that they genuinely thought that it was like a lost cause and he was super senile and they were trying to hide that from the American public. Because if that was the case, they would have never had the debate. It's so obvious.
No, it's not obvious. Destiny. Here's the thing. When you have
last
the entire
thought, Jake, last thought.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, just last thought on here. Destiny, thank you so much for the exchange. That's for sure. It was really good. But I will tell you this, guys. When it comes to the last election here, Donald Trump won this because of the fault of the Democratic Party. The assassination attempt, and then I'll even say Elon Musk even buying X did help Donald Trump in the long run, right? When it was Jack Dorsey, he got kicked out, etc. So that was kind of the thing that kind of helped out there. But I think the Democratic Party shot themselves in the foot, and this is why we have Donald Trump, and people want Donald Trump right now. So that's really what it is. Destiny, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Have a good one.
Right.
I wouldn't have shook that hand.
Yeah. Online, I can do whatever. Just send me a DM. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jake. And keep it going for Benjamin Murad. Benjamin Murad, you're up next. You're the next contestant on.
Well, I mean, I think he did really good.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed as someone
Yeah,
who
no,
doesn't know
no.
how to debate.
Jake did great. That was pretty well. I mean, he should have. No, I don't want to say he should have. Like that, he covered more ground by just moving on and letting it fly. But personally, like, there was so much bullshit that Destiny got away with there that he could have been crucified for. Um, especially with regards to the comparisons that he was making, trying to say, "Oh well, the right does terrible shit," and they pretend that they don't.
Mhm.
But you want to argue about like the left, like, oh, okay, so you have like the BLM rioters, or you have the people burning down Tesla dealerships, but then the conservatives will clap when people get deported or whatever. He said, like, how the fuck is clapping for a good result, like for justice being served for people illegally entering your country, or for doing any other shit? How is clapping for that in any way comparable to burning down fucking private businesses or rioting and burning down cities and like people's homes and shit? You can't say that there is any kind of like moral comparison there. Like, you have morally garbage people on the left and you have decent hardworking people on the right. Like, this has become clear to us even in Britain to see when we look at America. Like, when you've got people from another country looking at what's going on and saying, hey, this is fucking obvious to us. Like, why are you steering your country, especially with Britain, that sold out its own country? Our government has sold us out 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in our government gives a shit about the working taxpayer. Nobody. They have sold this country out just to import slave labor. You're bringing in millions of either so-called legal asylum seekers. They're not fucking seeking asylum. None of them are. Donald Trump called this out way back in 2016 when he's like saying, oh, if we're bringing in people from Pakistan who are being persecuted, if we're bringing out certain people from parts of the Middle East who are being religiously persecuted, why the fuck are 99% of them Muslim when it's the Christians that are getting persecuted? And in Pakistan, you've got Muslim radicals murdering Christians every single fucking day. But 99% of asylum seekers from Pakistan are Muslim. What the fuck are you guys running from? I mean, do you love murdering Christians so much that you want to go to a Christian nation and kill them on their home turf? Like, what the fuck is going on there? How are you an asylum seeker? And Donald Trump calls this out. And it's a very, very real statistic, and it's a very concerning one. And he gets called a racist for pointing it out. So when you have other European countries who have seen their countries literally sold down the shitter, and they're looking at America and saying, why are you guys heading in the same way? You're the last bastion of hope here, America. Like, you're the one.
It's over.
No,
I don't know what to tell you.
You guys are the last country where you're not going to get arrested for saying that you love freedom. Okay? Where waving your flag on your front lawn isn't yet wholly considered a racist act. You try waving a British flag in Britain and you'll get done for a fucking hate crime pretty much. I mean, like, we're fully on board with the whole 1984 thing fucking here.
Yeah. I've been looking at, I mean, I'm not there, but I've been seeing shit pop up, and it's like, I don't know, like, how many Brits are there compared to like the newer immigrants that haven't like assimilated?
It depends what city you look at. In London, if you're a Brit, if you're white especially, you're a minority already in London. And like, that's not an exaggeration, it's a statistical fact. You're the minority at the moment in London. And there was a survey, there was a study that was published, I can't remember when it was fairly recent, where they said I think it was since 2008, that something like 87% of all new jobs have gone to non-British born citizens. So in Britain, like, around pretty much almost 90% of new jobs since 2008 have gone to foreign born people. Like
So
that's really fucking concerning. That is really fucking concerning. And it's only one government that's done this. It's the Labour government that have done this. The Conservatives haven't done much to change it, but the Labour government has done this. And they claim to be the party of the working man. The same as the Democrats in America claim to be the party of the working man. But all as they want to do, again, same as the Democrat Party, is have slave labor. They want cheap slave labor. That's all the Democrats have done. They fought a war to keep their slaves. They brought in Jim Crow laws to capture them again and put them in chains again because slavery was still legal as a punishment for crime. Which is why they had Jim Crow laws, because they knew that the majority of the slaves, the harder working slaves, because they were bought as slaves rather than as indentured servants, were black people. So they created laws targeting blacks and Irish as well, because Irish were easily identifiable by their accents. So they thought like, hey, if we persecute blacks and Irish, we're going to recapture most of our slaves back and we can put them in chains. And it's the same game plan today. So when people say, oh, but there was a party switch, that big switch thing is a fucking myth. It never fucking happened. Even liberal scholars, very, very, very well respected left-wing scholars, professors who've been published have even shown that the party switch thing is a fucking myth. The left were always the racist. The Democrat Party were always racist. They were always the party of slavery. They still are today. Look at their argument for why they don't want to deport illegals. Well, if we deport them, who's going to pick our cotton? Who's going to pick our fruit and veg? Oh, so you admit that you want them to be slaves? That's you're still the party of slavery. You fucking retards. You said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. But with people like Destiny, when he's debating stuff that like a normal functioning person who hasn't been indoctrinated, who hasn't been brainwashed, will hear what he's saying and go, that doesn't make any sense. How could you say it? But the fact that once they've indoctrinated them with like whatever propaganda, brainwashing, mind melting stuff, they literally don't hear what you're saying anymore. It switches to something that makes sense in their mind, and that's what they start hearing. Was it you or somebody else I was talking to? Was talking to someone and literally said something like, oh, the Democrats did this horrible thing. But the person heard like Republicans did the horrible thing in their mind. And then the other person had to repeat it and slow it down and say, why do you keep twisting it in your head? I'm saying this. And they're like, oh my God, after like 10 times, I didn't realize I was doing that. I hate them so much that like my brain just immediately does that now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's how far.
Indoctrination is a real fucking thing. And it's scary when you see it. It's really scary when you see it. Like ever since I saw the Yuri Bezmenov interview, when he talks about the cultural subversion of America, I went deep into that whole fucking rabbit hole of how like the whole brainwashing shit happens. And it is scary when you fucking see it. And when you learn about how cults indoctrinate their believers, and when you see about how hard it is to deprogram cult members, it is very fucking hard to deprogram cult members, especially because most of them have to go through deprogramming about 3 or 4 times, because your brain is going to try and protect itself from being deprogrammed. So many of them think that they've succeeded. They're like, oh, we've done it. And then you'll see these cult members get like kind of released back to their families, and their families think, oh, they've been deprogrammed, they're all good. But they're basically like that kind of, non-activated assassin.
Yes.
Like they're like a sleeper agent, and they're still just playing along, pretending to be normal, but they're hiding the fact that they are still fully programmed. And then they realize this, and they're like, oh shit, no, they lied to us. And you get them deprogrammed again, and you go deeper, and they will change to a different style of behavior to be like, oh, no, I really am saved this time. I'm normal this time. It's all good. And you'll see they're different. They're like, oh no, I can see. And the family believes them. The family are like, oh yeah, no, they're different now. Before they were all quiet and a bit different, and we thought they were damaged. Now they're back to their true selves. And then you realize even that's bullshit. It is so many fucking layers that your brain is going to try and hide and cope with the fact that you don't want to be deprogrammed. It's a fucking scary thing. And you just look at how I hate to say this, but one of the key points in any kind of cult-like behavior you can see in certain dangerous ideologies out there. And I don't want to say Islam. Many people do criticize Islam of this, but you decide for yourself if you see it in Islam. But especially with the radical left and the LGBTQ, when you look at cult behaviors, one of the biggest thing is, and this is a problem with what Destiny said, oh, who's our leader? You don't need a leader. You don't need a leader.
Yeah.
You can have a founder, but you don't need a leader, because all as you do is you implement the program. You come up with the ideology, you establish the belief system. And once that ideology is there and everyone is bought into it, and you have some kind of structure, it can be it doesn't even need to be a proper structure. You don't need leadership at the very top. The one thing that cults will establish, and this is where I'm saying you can see it in the LGBTQ community, you can see it with the Democrats, the progressives, and where some people claim you can see it in Islam. It's a structure of self-reporting and policing, self-policing. People will try to outdo one another. I am a better LGBTQ member than you. I am more of a progressive than you. I'm more tolerant than you. I'm more X, Y, or Z than you. I'm a better one. And anyone who doesn't conform fully and who violates that ideology in any minor way gets reported. People will tell on you. They'll out you. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. I didn't see you attending this parade. I didn't see you doing this today. I didn't see you doing that today. You didn't pay your tithe. You didn't do whatever you were supposed to do. And I'm going to report you, and I'm going to report you. And then the rest of the people who try to look like they're a better believer than you are going to shit on you for that. And they're going to eviscerate you for that, just so that they look like they're the bigger believer. This is radical behavior 101. That is what you see in cults. Everybody wants to be closest to their personal God in a cult. And it doesn't matter who the fuck the leader is. You just have to implement that programming, and they're going to become more and more and more and more and more radical. And you very, very much see that on the left. You don't see that on the right. You're starting to, unfortunately, there's certain parts of the right where you do see that, but it's incomparable to the left.
So I want to show Steven something. Look.
Finally.
Quiet. Look, that's Jake.
I was about to say, but like I thought, I didn't know he let himself go.
I know.
What happened?
What do you mean, let himself go?
Well, we did, to be fair, like the old videos we saw of him, he was probably in high school.
No, he wasn't like that.
Okay, first of all, you only see him neck up.
Maybe. I think he stood before.
I didn't know his ears stuck out that much, though.
Well, that's the hat. And could be, maybe he wears masks. But
You think Jake wears masks? That's so against his brand.
no, if he at work, it's required. Who knows?
I thought he worked for his, like, family business. But anyways, I don't know. His family. He has a family.
He has family?
Yeah. No,
He
he's not
doesn't
married.
seem like, oh, I was
He's
about
not
to say,
married.
like,
He's not married.
geez,
Like a
okay.
family
All right, yeah.
that he came
Mhm.
from. Anyways, so he did pretty good. We're very happy for him. So we have to talk about the roast.
I just love the hypocrisy of Kat just being like, oh, he let himself go. We only see him from the neck up. Yeah, Kat. What about you and your fat gunt that we never see?
You guys see it. It's fat.
Oh God.
It's fine. Besides, we're old. We're allowed to like fall apart.
How you been, Steve?
I've been hanging in there.
Hanging in
yeah,
there. You survived another week with the old ball and chain.
That's right. I have several ball and chains, but
What are you talking about, Skank?
There's the business, and then there's you, and then
Oh my gosh, Jake just messaged me if he's gonna
The
say.
work wife.
Did he just hear me call him?
Yeah, Jake, I'm trying to defend you there. Jake was maybe just slouching. It was probably just like a wrinkle in the shirt that happened to be there.
Yeah, okay. He was bloated from the meal before, possible. We can give him that. I'll give him that. He was bloated.
Look. Anyways, so we have to talk about the whatchamacallit for next week.
Speaking of which, Daemon, how are you doing?
Why?
I've been okay. I've been all right.
You sound so enthusiastic.
It was an interesting week. It was an interesting week. I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay.
Off stream. It's private stuff.
Is it like another like horror fest?
No. It's Daemon After Dark.
Oh yeah. That's like the after show.
Anyway.
Before I rudely interrupted.
Anyways, Jake just called me an old lady, so like I don't feel bad.
Well, it's just, is he wrong?
I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Look, we got old.
Ageist.
Like it happens, you know. Like sometimes people.
Don't bring Steve into this, but with the we. I'm talking about you, Kat.
Wow.
I'm older.
We don't.
Yeah, I feel it. Definitely feel it.
That's her, Steve. That's the weight of the wife.
I never thought I'd be a cracker until
what
all
do
my
you mean?
joints
What do you
keep
mean?
cracking and popping and snapping. So I am literally a cracker.
Like every time you get up and down.
Yeah, every
you
time I
move
get up,
something,
there's crack.
It's all yeah.
I sit down, there's crack.
Mm-hmm.
My head pops, it's crack. It's crack. I'm just, I am literally crack now.
Oh, I was telling him that like those two twins, like they're a pair of twins. They're like black twins.
Twins, there is usually two of them, Kat.
Yes, usually two.
Yes.
It's kind of like a key point about them.
Hey, whatever. It's called like they have a podcast called Twin Pod or something like that. Anyways, so they had RFK Jr.
They should call it 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
That's dorkier. No. But anyway, so they had RFK
Twin
Jr.
pod is fucking dorky. I'm sorry.
Look, I am not in charge of their what's it called? Marketing. Like that's terrible. They should just like whatever their last names are should be the name of the podcast. It's ridiculous because everybody just goes those black twins podcast because that's literally the only way everybody can like identify.
They're black?
Yeah.
Well, they're not.
They should call it Me and My Shadow.
God,
no, that's good. Yeah, you should tell. Well, they're not going to rebrand at this point, but yeah, Me and My Shadow. That would be good. Well, who's the me? But I guess either of them could be me. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
dark humor.
So RFK Jr. told them because they're like, "How old are you?" And he's like, the twins were like 50 or whatever. They're gonna be 51, and then RFK is like, "The next 25 years of your life are gonna be the worst." And he's like, "You better go to the gym every day for an hour, or you're both screwed."
Wait, sorry, I missed it. Who said that?
RFK Jr.
You need to read
Oh, right. He's telling people the next 25 years of their life is going to be worse. What?
Did you read all of it?
I don't need to read it all. Just tell her no. The kid's trying to get a sleepover. Can you believe this? Like, Wow, this is such disrespect.
If you got kids, no sleepovers.
No sleepovers.
Not worth it.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
If I had kids, yeah, no, nobody's.
Tell-
Why would you, especially in today's world, why would you want somebody else's children sleeping in your house?
You
Right.
like that's
Yeah.
insane.
What?
One time, one of my
You got a
friends.
nightmare. What are you supposed to soothe them for? You can't. You got to call up the parents, come over. What were you saying? Sorry.
It doesn't matter, but like I hate kids. Like, why would you want somebody else's kids? Like, you didn't even birth them. I mean, I'm okay with that. Pick her up at 10. That's fine. I'll pick her up late, but I'm not letting her
Wait, you're
sleep.
picking her up?
You,
Okay, awesome.
you,
No, no,
you
said,
you,
you heard
you,
it. Everyone heard it.
you.
She's picking
you.
her up.
No, you.
I'm gonna.
Ridiculous. Yes, other people's children. Doesn't everybody feel that way? Like, who? Like, I always tell my kid and her friends, I'm like, nobody comes up to children to talk to them. No real person likes children. So, like, if someone comes up to talk to you guys, they're predators. That's what I always tell them.
I don't know about girls, but I know that all guys hate kids, or at least all guys should hate kids.
Not hate them. Like,
But you shouldn't like want to associate with children.
well, I feel very protective of them. Like, there's this boy that came up to me on Whole Foods. He had to have been 9 or 10, and he asked
Was
me
he
where,
being trafficked?
I don't know. He asked me where something was, and I looked around like, where's your parents? And
Then
and
he
then-
ran off.
no, then I said, it's over there, but go find your parents. And then he goes and runs off, and I watch him, and I see him go up to a father, obviously father, goes up to a father, and I think his father looks like him, and then takes him over. They're like, no, that should not have happened. It was Whole Foods, so, take it for what it is. But still, that
Are you trying to say that it wasn't a Walmart kids?
it was not Walmart Kids, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, I had a kid come up and ask me some stupid shit, and I was the same. I was like, "Didn't your parents ever fucking teach you not to talk to strangers?"
Did
Yeah.
you use that language?
And he was kind of sarcastically like, "No," and I was like, "Oh well." So I put a bag over his head and I threw him in the back of my car, and I didn't. Like, no. But seriously, sometimes you're like, yeah, you're like, what the fuck? Like, kids today are dumb as shit.
They
But-
really are.
But I mean, I live in a place where, I don't know, like, I'd be more worried about a kid stabbing me than a fully grown adult. Like, most of the nice crime is by, like, fucking, like, kids.
Yeah.
Is it true that they outlawed ninja swords in?
Yeah, which is hilarious. I didn't actually read the specific law, but I was like, that's brilliant if it's true. It's like, oh, the police come. It's apparently even illegal to own it. So if the police somehow come to your house, if you're dumb enough to let them into your house, which you 9 times out of 10 don't need to let them in.
Mhm.
But if you're dumb enough to let them in and they're like, oh, look, you're breaking the law, that's illegal. You just be like, no, this is a samurai sword, not a ninja one. Like, learn about culture, you racist bigot. Like, that's so fucking stupid. Why specifically ninja swords?
Wait, can you do fencing over there? That's illegal too.
No, they do fence.
But is that
Yeah,
illegal?
It's got a nub on the end that's welded on. It's just
Oh,
not
really?
sharp. Yeah.
So it's not for
sharp.
real.
But
I'm not-
even if it was a real foil or if it was a real epee or a saber, like, you could still own it. It's not a ninja sword.
Yeah, if it's a samurai sword, ninja swords are
Yeah.
straight and short, just like certain.
Ninja swords are like the worst swords to own. If you actually
Yeah,
look
they
at
are. They're terrible.
what a sword is, they're the worst swords.
You want a samurai sword with a nice curve, none of these British swords. The one saber. No sabers.
I mean,
Actually, say,
you could have an old school proper like two-hander, a claymore, or a fucking like
oh
you,
yeah,
those
claymore. You
swords
can
would
just
like smash through a fucking samurai sword. But
yeah,
like
you could definitely break a samurai sword with that. Not very agile, but I don't
I
know.
lifted one of those things. Those things are fucking hardcore. I was like, gee, imagine being. This is how you know that people today are pussies because
Wait,
like what?
that was hardcore for you?
No. Like if you have the armor on, because if you're
Okay.
carrying full fucking armor, and then because some people are like thinking that it wasn't one-handed, it was two-handed, because like you wouldn't be able to fucking move that thing.
Armor's not
If
a
you're
long.
thinking about like lifting it isn't hard, but like actually swinging it or actually trying to like, if you think how you'd have to hit somebody else who's wearing armor with that thing, it's like I'd imagine that like probably on a battlefield within the first minute you'd probably say to your opponent, "Sorry, I'm living in Crime Central." Yeah, after about like 30 seconds on the battlefield with your opponent, you'd probably just be like, should we just take a break? Because you're how are you gonna fucking stab
Well, wait,
somebody with that shit?
how much heavier is it from a samurai? I use samurai swords.
Oh,
And
compared to a samurai sword, the one that I had, if you ever come to the UK, I'll take you to a place called Tintagel.
and you're gonna
In
attack me with
Cornwall.
a samurai
We're
sword.
never going to the UK. No offense.
No,
We're
Tintagel's
gonna go
beautiful. It's in
straight to
Cornwall.
jail.
It's basically the site which they thought was it's the site that historically they believe was Camelot. Like the ruins there. So like they've got quite a few museums, and I don't know if it's changed with the law, but last time I was there, you could buy like full on fucking armor. You could buy like a chainmail vest. You could buy like a chainmail hoodie kind of thing, like not like a modern hoodie, but like the vest with the hood that you'd put up to go under the helmet. And you could buy like full suits of armor. They've still got like families that for I don't know how many generations were blacksmiths and that have passed on that technique of making the weapons and shit. So they had like a big two-hander sword, like fucking massive thing. And yeah, a lot heavier than a samurai sword. A lot heavier than a samurai sword. And if you think like, I mean, the gauntlets that they made, like if you actually put the gauntlet on, the gauntlet, like if you think just wearing it, you're not going to think it's a big deal. But if you think, hang on a second, you're going to be on a battlefield. And these guys, like historically, like if you listen to some of these battles, these guys were in battle for like over 4 hours at times.
Oh yeah, that's.
And if you think like for 4 hours just wearing this one gauntlet, and then carrying a sword as well, and it's a two-hander sword, and you're like, yeah, this was no fucking joke.
They just run away when they're tired. Or
I just feel
play
like,
dead.
but the funny thing is that you saw the armor as well, and they did tests to show you the armor, and I was like, the girlfriend that I had at the time, her brother lived very close to this area, and he knew one of the sons of one of the blacksmiths. So like we kind of knew the people that ran this one part of the museum, and we were allowed to kind of stay after hours. I mean, it closes fairly early, so like it wasn't like a late night kind of special thing, but it was like we were kind of talking about the history of it and shit. And we were seeing like him, doing his work and everything. And during like the open hours of the museum, they'll show you like how strong the armor is, because they'll just like wail on it for a while, but they're hitting it like with like hammers or with like these kind of special kind of blunted kind of mallets, because they don't want to kind of damage it too bad. And they're showing you like how strong it is, how resilient it is, and you can kind of knock on it and feel it and touch it and stuff. But I was thinking like, yeah, but I just want to see like how good it is against the sword, right? And in his workshop, he had tons of swords that he made, like these big fucking heavy swords. And I was like, how strong is the armor against like that sword, and he had various swords. Like this sword is for like piercing. This sword is like a hacking sword, and I saw this like hacking sword like just fucking tear through a log, and I'm like, holy shit! But on the armor, it didn't really do much of anything. And you think, oh, okay, yeah, but you'd go for like the joins. You'd go for like the joins in the armor, but like they had like obviously pieces covering the joints, like and deflecting the blade away.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
like,
for
sorry.
samurai, for in martial arts, they go for under the armpit where they can't really get armor.
Yeah,
Or like strikes or stabbing or anything. They go for the joints. They don't go
yeah.
for armor itself.
So like if you look at medieval knight's armor, right, you'll have like the collar, which kind of deflects away to like the pauldrons on the shoulders. But underneath, they were pretty ingenious as well because there's a lip that comes under the breastplate, and the lip will kind of deflect it away to the inner arm, which also had shielding. So like all of this stuff is like it's pretty fucking clever the way they had the armor back then. Like there were very, very, very few weak spots. And this is why I just kind of thought, like, fucking hell. Like, after a while, you just must be like, oh, fucking move away. Like, I'll pick someone else. You go that way. I'll go this way. And I just kind of like had this vision of like, if you look at how pathetic people are at when they're doing, have you ever, it's the funniest thing to watch. Have you ever seen LARPers fight?
Loppers?
What are those? Is that a
LARPers.
British thing?
No, I heard about it from an American comedy film, Role Models. I don't know if you've seen Role Models, but it's like a fucking funny film, and it takes the piss out of LARPers, live action role playing people. People who go, yeah,
Nerds.
yeah, nerds,
Okay.
like people who kind of like play Dungeons and Dragons for real life.
I can't handle watching that.
Yeah,
It's-
but the funniest thing is that most of them are like, I don't want to kind of generalize. I'm sure they're not all this way, but so many of them are like,
come on.
You can
Yeah, they are.
generalize. You can
You can
generalize.
generalize. It's okay.
for most
know
of
it's
them,
true.
so I'd imagine that is their exercise for the week, right? Like that's the time that they get out of the house and they move around a little bit. And you can really tell because if you've ever fucking seen it, and the only reason I've seen it is there was a YouTube channel which will kind of secretly film them just to take the piss. It was so fucking hilarious. And I saw clips of it. And I was like, it's kind of like how I probably thought it's probably like that. It was actually probably like that back then. Because these guys got out of breath after about 2 or 3 minutes. And then you just like see some of these kids that were like kind of, there was one dumbass who was trying to cast spells on people, and the other people tried to pretend like it worked. Some of them were like, you missed me. And then there was other people who had the foam swords, and they're kind of trying to like swing around and hit each other and dodge roll and stuff like that. And then literally I don't even think it was 3 minutes. After a while of these guys doing the most acrobatic thing they've ever done in their life, like a little tumble and a roll and like a little kind of like a dodge and a parry and a sweep and shit like that. And then they kind of just said, should you take a break? And they sat down by the tree, and they're like, they had like in their little pouches, they had like some like crisps and shit. Like, in real life, it was probably like if you're lugging around like what feels like fucking 30 kilos of armor and a fucking massive fucking heavy sword and shit. And after a while of swinging that shit around, if you're doing that for 4 hours, you'd be like, oh, I need to take a break. Yeah, you take a break? Okay, cool. It must have been something like that in real life. It couldn't have just been like wailing on each other nonstop for like 4 fucking hours.
Or they're just murdering all the peasants who don't have armor.
Probably.
Slowly, just chopping them to death. They don't have to worry about anything. Yeah.
Like telling the peasants, don't run away. This armor's really heavy.
Yeah. Stop running. You're running too fast. Slow down. I command you.
Ah, fuck.
I'm curious is next.
Is the next pope?
Oh God, no. Absolutely not.
It's gonna happen.
Can you imagine if he was Pope? He would
I
be,
can. He's
How?
insane enough.
he's like talking to all the people. Sante Cristo.
Oh, don't say
No?
bad words. I don't know what that means.
Was I saying it correctly, Damon?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
That's
to
a
be
no.
honest.
That's a no. He's trying to be nice.
I'll have to go memorize it again. I had it memorized before.
What?
Yeah,
You're not even Catholic.
I, no,
what are
no,
you
I
talking about?
memorize other religions' different prayers.
What?
Yeah, you should know these things.
Is what? Why?
So you can act like you're a part of them when you're really not.
Oh my God. Were you taught that because you guys were like illegal immigrants? You have to like
No.
fit in?
No, I just find it's interesting to me. So like I know how to do the prayer for in Judaism.
Okay. What does it mean? What does it mean?
Oh,
We're the best.
Dear Jewish God, please don't send.
think to you, my God, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, our God, Eloheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu.
Okay, so you don't know.
Yeah, I don't actually remember.
Are you Jewish, Steve?
No.
Yes.
No, not
Yes,
all.
he is. He
I
might as
said
well.
Not
yes.
even genetically. Like 23andMe says no, not even one gene.
How many Jewish chicks do you have to bang before you're honorary?
I already banged way too many of them.
Exactly.
I banged an Afghani Jew.
An exotic one.
Jewish. She was not completely Jew. She was Jewish.
Ish. Emphasis on the ish.
That was during when I made a joke about when they were invading Afghanistan.
Why would you do that? Why are you like this?
I didn't know she was Afghani. And
But
she said,
who
well, I'm
makes a joke
Afghani. It's like,
about-
I had no idea. I didn't know that.
I thought you were going to say that you made a Holocaust joke while you were fucking her.
He's
No,
probably
not
done
to
that because he's
No.
just to see if they'll tighten up.
Well, over there, you could say it's not a smoke show, it's a gas show. But you don't say that. It's better to not.
Oh, God.
Want to take a shower? No, don't do that.
Oh, by the way, just to say, Smoking Spaceman said he'd wear chainmail today. It would be awesome for weight training. You can still buy it. There's a few places in England that make it like the traditional way. And if it's made the traditional way, it is heavy, but it's good for weight training because unlike weight vests, it's super breathable. It is really breathable. You don't actually feel hot. And the metal actually keeps you feeling cool.
Now, I would like to see a video of a person in a exercise room with other weights in chainmail, full chainmail. And like a cross or white garb with a big huge red cross on it. I'd like to see that. He walks in, hello Englishman.
Look,
I'm here to lift some weights.
On Etsy, you can get chainmail. There's actual nerds that devoted their whole life to learning the skill, and they make it.
Let me guess. The name of the business would be Off the Chain Mail.
Good Lord. I don't think it's that cheesy.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Nerds
Also,
making chainmail, and it's not
You'd
cheesy.
be surprised. A lot of my period piece costume wear
The
that's
bloody ones,
authentic
yes.
comes from Ukraine.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, all my stuff comes from Ukraine.
Scratchy flax.
Well, I mean, it's actual linen.
Mm-hmm. Scratchy flax.
Whatever. It is what it is.
You're throwing them a bit of money to help them out in their time of
I
need.
am.
Well, they're having a blast over there right now.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, more than one.
It's all the time.
Mhm. Actually, how much is?
Well, you going to look this up now?
Well,
Is there no? Actually, the first question would be: is there a Is there a tariff on Ukrainian goods?
Chainmail shirt? Sure. Let's see if that's a thing. Okay, look. Oh my gosh. Yes. They have tight ones so you can be sexy, Peakies. Look at that.
Tight chain.
Oh, it's called a rash guard. Is that chainmail?
Rash guard?
Like if you're on the motorcycle or some crap?
What? That's okay. Maybe that would. I don't.
Wait,
the rash guard would just be for under the chainmail.
this is okay. Here, we'll just get this one. It's like $80.
Oh, we're gonna get this.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
just 80 yeah. Well,
Oh, this one is gorgeous.
I'm not wearing chainmail.
We need for Halloween.
This makes no sense.
What are you
to have
talking
chainmail.
about?
Is this on Etsy?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
What
don't be a loser, cat.
It's probably fake chainmail.
yeah. Oh, it's from India. Ugh.
Oh.
Oh, great.
I only
you
get
go.
mine from Ukraine.
I want fine Ukrainian chainmail
Mhm.
made out of German steel.
Oh my.
I
This
want
one-
tiny Ukrainian children who are afraid that they might be blown up at any moment, who are putting all their effort into this.
Makes them work faster.
Okay, here. People want to see.
Do you hear drone? I hear drone. Keep going.
All right. So I think this is like cool. For,
Eh.
no,
They could do better.
they could do better. Okay.
You need the hood.
Okay. So this dude's. Yes. Yeah.
These
Oh, I
people-
like this helmet. Look at that. You look
That
so
looks more like Greco-Roman. Like
Yeah, it does.
it's tiny. It's like I can't really see it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said.
What is this? It's like a chicks. Wow, that's like $600. This probably is quality.
Well, it's pink.
We've reached the portion of the show where Kat's just given up and is just internet browsing now.
This
Oh,
is
God.
scary looking.
Yeah, it's
I like it. I think we can make this
No.
work.
no.
Yes.
It's like an MRI nightmare.
We're not going to wear this into an MRI. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
Have you heard that there was someone that decided to wear a butt plug into a MRI machine?
Why do you know this? Explain yourself.
I remember these strange.
Was it metal?
Yeah, the inside motor part, I guess, was metal, and it worked its way into her organs. Well, into her abdominal cavity, not the organs.
Jesus.
Didn't kill her, but
But
still.
why? Why would you do this?
Who was
Who
thinking?
does
exactly,
this?
Exactly. Who's thinking, oh, I forgot to take out my butt plug today?
Who wears one?
This.
Okay, sorry.
individual-
I didn't mean to.
You would
keep
wear one. No,
you-
but the thing is that there's checks before you have an MRI done.
There are.
So
yeah.
she obviously knew that she had it in. She didn't forget. She was just like, "This will be fun going into an MRI machine."
I'll be able
with
to
a-
hold them
with a
into my
plug.
butt cheeks. Those magnets are incredibly powerful.
Did
There's
she
no-
survive?
Yeah, she survived. Yeah.
Jesus.
Then there was someone that brought a gun. Now, there's something wrong with this. This clinic needs to be shut down. But
Whoa,
if it was a
It's
clinic-
one place that has all these problems.
No, I don't know if it was one place. I don't know if it was one place.
It
Possibly
the
allegedly.
neighborhood is a little bad.
But they brought in. They had a gun on them. Like what? You go through a metal
You
detector.
can't say that word on the internet.
Oh, pun. I had a pun.
Yes, we like
can't say the
making
G
British.
word?
No, look at this.
Top G?
This stop.
Can you say top
No,
G?
you can't. Look at this. Do you think I would look cool in this?
I think you'd look like a nerd.
That's not what I asked.
I think you'd look like you've got some problems with safety.
They've tried too hard to kind of try and make it look cute.
If she wasn't wearing anything else underneath there.
Oh my
maybe-
gosh. Oh my gosh.
I was thinking the same thing, Steve.
Like it's-
Didn't want to say it, because I knew Cat would get antsy and shit. But yeah,
Well, I mean, I might have to get some armor just in case, like
You-
the apocalypse happens.
For sure, you would have to have one of those like chainmail warmers. Where
What?
You warm it up
Oh
first.
my gosh, gold armor. This is what I need.
Gold armor. Really? It's the Donald Trump of armor.
Yes. Now, can we get some custom made that's real? Actually,
is
gold. Gold will be like too soft. Tungsten. That's what we need, right?
You don't need tongues. You don't need chainmail. Period. You don't need that. Like, okay.
What if I want to like have armor for,
For
look,
what?
look, because you have to understand the
No, I don't.
economy is really bad. And right, back me up, Damon. So the economy is really bad.
Don't back her up.
And I feel like any day now, like the people who can't get jobs are gonna start like coming for the people who still have jobs. You know what I mean?
Oh, look, she's got Alma. She can't run too fast. If you keep running with her or after her, she'll eventually slow down and get too tired. She can't even get into her car. Her helmet got stuck.
Oh, a sword.
Oh, what are you going to do with that? I'll shoot you.
Well, look, Piggies, I'm imagining they're gonna shut down the power grid, so we're gonna be back to swords.
Well, Einstein, who was Jewish, also said that at some point in the future, people will be fighting with swords.
I mean, I believe it.
he said. I
Something
think
like
the quote was something like he didn't know what the next war, because they were talking about the future of weaponry.
Yeah.
And it was after World War II. And he said, I don't know what weapons the next war will be fought with, but I know that the one after it will be fought with sticks and stones.
Oh, sticks and stones. I translated it.
We'll
Yeah.
break my bones, but words can never hurt me.
How big are these stones and sticks?
Anyways, look at this. Look at the detail on this. Oh my God, is this English or what? What is this?
That is a call for help.
What?
The fuck.
What is this words?
Suffolk.
Let me see in a second.
Is this what kind of language is this? It better
Name
not be
of-
like Elven or
Name
something.
of corn. This Suffolk. No.
The name of
Ye.
Crom.
Chrome.
Hmm.
Okay, whatever.
Scary. Oh, it's Conan the Barbarian. Okay. Cool. I might be into it. What about this one? This one's only $1,125.
Way overpriced.
How is this overpriced?
They
It's a
shouldn't
sword.
cost that
How
much.
much money do you think a sword
swords,
is?
Swords run 100, 200, maybe 300.
But like, it's a
We're not
real
talking
sword.
about a folded sword.
What's a folded sword?
Either Damascus steel or
What's
Japanese
that?
samurai sword. where
It's
they
when it's
fold it.
tempered, heated, cooled, reshaped, hammered, heated, cooled.
It's
Just
like
to
several
give it,
hundreds
make
of
it
layers.
Oh
tougher.
my God, you guys are such nerds.
And then when you sharpen it along the side, you get this Yumi.
Okay, how do I spell Damascus?
DAMASCUS.
There.
It's because sword. Here we go. Somebody on Etsy figured it out. Okay.
People have been making them for a while. It's not-
It has the waveform kind of look because of the different metal components.
and the different layers.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is a Viking. It's only $65. Oh,
That's probably not Damascus steel. That's probably just a pattern put on it to make it
it
look like it
says
is.
Damascus. Material
Yeah,
Damascus
but
steel blade.
Where was it made? India?
Hold up.
Because it takes a lot of time to do it.
Italy.
Italy?
Italy.
No.
You don't even trust Italians.
That doesn't even look. No, it does look like Damascus.
See? For $65, I'm
But
gonna
they
get a
they
sword.
they
Well-
fake that shit. They fake that shit a lot with acid etching.
Yeah, that's got to be. It would probably snap.
Okay, look. What do you mean we don't know how to make that anymore? They just said it.
True Damascus.
Somebody in the chat mentioned Forged in Fire. There was guys on Forged in Fire who made Damascus steel blades. Maybe it wasn't the actual components that they used back then, but it was the same technique, which is why you get that waveform look to it.
Okay. I like this one. It's a no. Okay. Anyways, what about like a hatchet? Can I get one of those?
Hatchet. Do you even know how to? You know, if you don't know how to use a weapon, it's best to not even have it because it'll just be taken away from you, and they'll
I
kill you with it.
I feel like I could figure it out. It's not that hard. What?
Can
Oh.
someone please explain?
What? Okay, look, when I was young, my dad would give me these little tiny knives and he would have me throw them onto the tree.
Oh shit, that's cool. I do knife throwing.
Yeah.
Like competition knife throwing, not like
Okay.
at random people in the street.
Also, and I would just like to say that I got every single one into the tree and none of them came back and hit me.
I do have throwing knives.
Okay, so we don't have a tree. We can't do it in the front yard. The neighbors will call the cops.
I don't want to do that to our tree.
Oh, that's true. I do love my tree. But anyways, I do know how to do that. I guess I didn't like my old tree.
No, you didn't at all.
It was an avocado tree.
It can be a board. It doesn't have to be a tree. It can be a sliced tree. How about that? What if it's a slice of a tree?
Okay.
No, you can buy from, we'll go to any loggers and you just buy like cross sections of like a softwood.
Yeah, cross section, a slice of a tree.
Well, yeah, like you get
Wood.
Something like cottonwood or
Hardwood.
something like that. No, not hard. Cottonwood, so that it sticks. They usually use that in competition throwing. They'll use something like cottonwood.
Damon, that's for you.
Good one, chairman of the board. Good one.
All right, we have to talk about the troll battle. So I need some disses for Simperius. Does anybody in the chat have any ideas?
Don't diss
Things-
Simp. We're not doing it against Simp, are we?
Of course we are. We have to destroy him.
That's mean.
That's a freaking. This is a troll battle. What are you talking about?
So he's
Yeah, but
fighting.
he's like, you don't like. pick
Oh,
on
you don't go
special
up to
needs
the
people.
mentally ill. That's what he's saying. He's saying.
Oh my gosh, be
you
nice.
shouldn't go up to the mentally
Well,
ill.
we're all a little bit mental, so it's fine. So it's just.
He's just.
Yeah, but he's like a lot mental.
He's just, a little. He could be allegedly not. I mean, we don't know.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. I'm gonna write this. Hold on.
Regarded.
No, we're not supposed to say these
I
words.
said regarded.
I don't care.
Once you go full.
Late.
If she doesn't
Age.
care, we just say retarded. He's
Are you allowed to say that? I feel like you're not.
yes, you are. Retarded people are people too.
Can you say full retard?
No, you can't.
Maybe they're not like a full person, but like at least 3/5.
Okay, so see, Anson's already figured out his roast for Simperius, but I feel like I don't know enough about like his okay, yes. Okay. Pissed.
Anything coming
off.
from Pat is gonna hurt Simperius really hard.
So
Because he projects his Persian X issues onto you.
This is true.
there's also his pinky.
Oh, his pinky fell off. His finger blew off.
How did he?
Finger
How did the
blew
finger come
off.
Was it
In some
because-
machinery that he works with.
Oh,
It was an aggressive wank.
Yes. Ooh, nice. Okay. All right. What else do we got on him?
you want
He
to
caught it on the zipper.
ask him?
We can't ask him for it has to be a surprise.
He would be more than happy to give you
Oh God.
information.
Okay. Oh, and he's racist. Hold on. Racist.
we know he's a cracker.
He's a
white.
racist white
You racist cracker.
white boy with only minority friends. Oh, okay.
He's confused.
Okay. All right. He believes the Pope.
I hope
is he
if you do this stuff, I hope he goes fully racist in the comebacks. I hope he does. Jesus Christ! Look, this is again. How many police? Jesus, you know. He'd be like, "I'm not racist. Some of my best slaves are black."
I like them. Should give them extra food.
So, okay, what else? I feel like that's enough for Simperius. I don't got anything for
Just
Anson.
3 things. Okay.
I don't got anything for Anson, so I can't properly roast him.
Anson?
The chairman of the board.
Oh.
So we're just gonna have to go with.
So you just make something up.
I'll just have to make up like a life story that I can destroy. I don't know. Okay, who else is gonna be there? I think that's it. I think we got everybody. So after I do Simperius, I'll just make something up for Anson. Oh, and I have to roast you.
You have to roast me?
Yeah.
You have way too
Why
much
do you have to roast Steve?
Why not? He's here.
What? Why? Yes. Is this a good idea?
Why? You know everything.
Do I have to act like I'm rage quitting?
Yes, you have to rage quit.
And then do I roast? No, I'm not roasting you. That'd be a bad idea, but we might not be talking for a while.
Anson is kind of unroastable. Nothing you can say or do to Anson that his ex-wives haven't done already, according to Smoking Spaceman.
That's
Anson, is this true? How many ex-wives do you have?
Oh yes, we need details. How many ex-wives?
Why are you typing this? He's in the
I
chat.
need this for the roast.
She's now making notes.
How many Yes, I need
All this time before didn't make notes. Now she's making notes.
I didn't know we were gonna do a roast battle.
How many times are you divorced, by the way?
Oh, okay, this is good.
Former vegan.
That's the worst thing you've ever said. You
Hey,
were.
he said former, so he's seen the light.
Yeah, he was deep
Likes
throating carrots.
chick
Now
with
he's deep
arm,
throating meat.
Pit hair.
He likes to. Oh, so basically, he likes dudes.
But we don't know how many divorced twice. Only twice. Oh, no, twice.
Are you currently married?
My next ex-wife is your sister.
Oh, Alabama. So there's some inbred jokes.
Were you related to any of your ex-wives?
Mm-hmm. Are you white? Like for real, or like one of those?
He's
Like
white.
Native American. You know how like they like to play it off?
What are you looking at me for?
Yes.
One of your ex-wives is also your grandmother.
Beautiful. Thank you. Jesus. Okay.
English
Pure blood.
German?
Peace. What's in what do you think is in your blood?
I'm German.
I feel like you have some of those
I have some
giants.
Swedish.
I feel like you have some of the giants, you know, like from
You mean Neanderthal?
No, from the Bible.
What?
Yeah, the giants. Remember the giants in the
Nephilim.
Bible? The Nephilim. I feel like that's where you get your head shape.
No, I think that's...
She's saying that you've got a weird, misshapen big head.
He's got a really big head.
And I have a strange craving to eat box.
Don't say that on the internet, and that's disgusting. Jeez.
Oh my God, you married the wrong woman, Steve.
Well,
Any
but
woman who doesn't like getting eaten out, there's something wrong with her.
no. Nobody said that. We just don't talk about these things on the interwebs. But
Oh,
anyway,
because you're polite all of a sudden after stuffing your face for about an hour
with my
that's oh my God.
with Steve's meat.
yes.
Oh, I do have a video I want to show you guys, and I think that's good. All right, this is it's like so hard to like show
That's what she
these.
said. It's like so hard.
Here we
Can you
go.
make it harder?
Stop. I'm gonna turn the sound off.
No.
Look at
She's
this
like,
shit.
no,
Look at this
no,
shit.
no, please, no, not now. No, put that away. Put that away.
Oh
Put that-
my God. Oh my God. You saw that chick like dumped the drink on him too? This is like this guy's worst life day. And you know, somebody posted that because somebody posted their engagement. That's how nasty the internet is. Somebody's like, look, guys, I'm so happy I got engaged. And the internet's like, well, look at this. This is how it's gonna end. Jesus.
Damn.
I have no idea because obviously this is quality crap right here.
He better have fucked somebody else that night. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like, he should have just, like, had one of those solid anger fucks with someone else.
Do an orgy with twins. Not an orgy. That'd be a threesome. Never mind. She's typing furiously.
No, this is good. This is good, Anson. We're gonna use this. All right. I feel like I have enough.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I feel like
Okay.
this is enough for a good roast.
That's okay.
What?
I can't wait until next week to see all of Kat's AI roast jokes.
They're gonna be in rap style.
What?
Yeah, I'm making
Oh
rap
my
songs.
Rap
God.
style?
Yeah, they're rap songs.
You're just roasting yourself, Kat.
Yeah, that's a self roast.
You know what?
You're gonna be
Look,
crispy.
You guys talk a lot of smack.
You're already brown. It's gonna be.
I'm immediately
Blackened.
thinking of that. I'm immediately thinking of that Australian breakdancer chick in the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
What's that? Who's that?
It's okay. You can look up the video later, where she was like came in last for some odd reason. We don't know why.
How do you know
Oh my
about
God.
this?
She would have lost if she was in the Special Olympics.
Right, she
It
would have.
was so bad.
If she was in the Special Olympics or with going against people with no hands, no arms, no legs, she still would have lost.
Yeah. Yeah. One of those pillow women could have beaten her.
And there's no way she had a handicap. I don't know if they do that in the Olympics, but
Oh my God. It's so bad.
what was she thinking? Oh, this is impressionism.
Didn't they find
what?
out that the person who was on the committee in Australia who put her forward was somebody that she was fucking or something?
That would make sense. I didn't know that, but that would make sense.
I think the person who was like on the Olympic committee for Australia to like pick the Olympic team, they claimed, because like actual Australian breakdancers said that they never saw it advertised that there was a competition to get selected. But then they proved that they did advertise. But I think the adverts went out only locally in that one little area where they were holding the tryouts. And they only advertised on like 8 hours before.
And it happened to be between 1 a.m. and 9 a.m.
It is so fucked. She was so bad. I felt, oh my God, if I was the dude on the committee who picked her, I could never fuck her again after that.
Well,
You would feel like you're fucking somebody with Down syndrome.
Well, I was about to say that. But
Are you allowed to say that on the internet?
maybe this individual was into that sort of thing.
Oh God, yeah, maybe. That must be a kink for some people.
Do you breakdancing again, darling?
The world is
Let us
weird
know
enough.
how
Like,
you
who do
do
you
it.
go for? Like, oh, I
Down
like redheads. I like redheads. I like girls with green eyes. And somebody else is like, I like chicks with Down syndrome.
under. They're easy on their eyes. They just don't stop.
God. Oh.
All right, guys, I got nothing else to talk about today.
Well, you want to end the
You,
Down
you,
syndrome?
you could have said that like about an hour or two earlier.
I think you could have said that before the chainmail went up. Actually,
Cat's gotten tired of doing online shopping.
what we could get is chainmail underwear. So if you make your balls cold,
What are you
if you ice
talking
your
about?
balls, it increases testosterone.
Just stick some
So-
ice packs.
Well, but
Would
you
it be
could-
offensive to give chainmail to somebody who's black?
No.
Wait, where are
Okay.
you going with this?
I get where he's going, and I still think like no.
You don't just
Enough
automatically say
time has
no.
passed.
No,
We're good.
chainmail with black. No, where are you going with this? Just curious.
Well, no, just like,
No. If he explains it, we immediately get kicked off the internet. What is wrong with you?
okay, I'm not going to say it. Jesus,
Nobody
just
Jewish
ask him.
involved?
No, Steven, no talking. This is why you're not allowed to talk. See,
I didn't say they were a Jew.
no. Stop. Always stop.
Just
10
slightly.
things ahead. Okay, so let's see. Oh, tell us your side about how I tricked you into getting married and moving in.
Oh,
You guys have already heard that a million times. Okay, so I'll say what I did, and then you tell me what you were thinking.
I wasn't thinking.
I know.
There you go.
It was so
Done.
easy.
Wow.
And it all made complete sense. It just made
I wasn't
sense.
thinking.
Because I just walked you right down the path.
Yeah, she
You know,
did.
like those
He
cows.
basically
a
said,
maze.
Kat, he basically said, if I was smarter, I wouldn't be with you right now.
Actually, I saw it happening, and
No,
I had no
did you?
reason to say no. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe a little bit.
Steve, you
too
sound
soon,
like
but-
one of those people who got groomed in Hollywood telling his
Yeah.
life story.
Right. The
I
balls
felt
were
like I
there.
couldn't say no.
You know, it was just hanging in front of me, so I decided, why not? Put it in my mouth.
It was like, look, you got nothing to worry about in your future. You just
really love making
imagine
fun.
it's a popsicle.
Yeah, just imagine it's a
Okay.
cream
Enough.
filled-
Enough. Relax.
spotted
Oh my
dessert,
God.
a classic British dessert. Is it British? Spotted dick?
Close your eyes and think of England.
Actually, that is somebody used that to help someone go to the bathroom. Think of England when you're going to the bathroom with their rocks. How is that? How does that help? I don't know.
Oh.
Yes.
Kat, this is what you have. This is what happens when you don't plan anything, Kat.
I agree with this.
On the plus
Wait,
side,
what
at
he
least
said or
he's
you-
a woman.
What?
What?
On the plus side, what?
Well, he said you're a manipulative woman. I just said on the plus side, at least you're a woman. You never know nowadays.
I know it is hard
True.
out there.
I'm 100%.
I was
sure.
watching a clip. Remember Pauly Shore? He was like an actor, comedian.
Yes, he was the.
He was talking about like banging a tranny or something, a ladyboy.
He's the son of Mitzi.
Yeah. The Comedy Store people. Anyways, he was talking about banging a ladyboy and saying like there's a lot of stuff going on in there. He's
A lot
not
of
dead. He's
stuff going
alive
on.
inside, and he's like some things like hit you back.
What?
Yeah, when you're up there. So now he's like, that's all he wants now.
I think 13's making a joke about the hoax that Paulie Shaw did, where I think he did a documentary film, kind of joke film, where he was like, "Yeah, Paulie Shaw is dead." Yeah,
Yeah.
He was gonna
but
do.
I saw a couple of interviews with him recently. Man, that guy is legit. I mean, I liked his movies back in the day. It was fucking dumb and hilarious.
Yeah, I love
But
Biodome.
he's really kind of like, he was so
Lost
kind of like, no, but he was so kind of like open about criticizing himself and like calling himself out on his shit. He's the dude's due a comeback. I think he's the same as Rob Schneider. Like Rob Schneider's like fucking legit right now. He's on fire. And
I would like to see him play. Which is Richard Simmons.
oh
The-
fuck yeah!
No,
Wait, no, Paulie Shaw. Paulie Shaw.
Is supposed to was going to make a movie about Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
He looks so fucking much like him, and he channels his fucking energy really well as well.
And he definitely would do an awesome job, but the family doesn't want that to happen. Was a lawsuit or something.
I guess because they're making fun of him.
Yeah, well, come on.
I mean, I would love
First of all,
that
he could
if
take
I'm
it.
gone.
Richard
He could
Simmons
take it. He laughed at himself more than anyone.
Yeah,
he
he
did.
took it so well up the ass.
Okay, and that's never been proven.
No,
Yeah, he's never admitted to that, so we don't know. He could
Sometimes
just
you
be-
don't need to admit it, Kat.
yeah.
I know.
It's
but
there.
Still,
You know, it's just there. Raise those hips, ladies.
Yeah, he had the gay-s in his vocabulary.
But he did get a lot. He did do a lot of good for people.
this is for you,
Losing
Peace.
weight.
Yeah, that's
never
true,
gonna
Steve.
happen. It's never
That's true,
gonna
Steve.
happen. Mm-mm.
Well, I do hope that you will become at some point monetized.
Do you know statistically?
He
if I make-
hopes that at some point you'll make some money in your life, Kat.
That's not why he married me.
Just contribute just
I
a little
need
bit.
500 hours.
400? You mean 400?
Five, like 450. 450.
Well, less.
Need about 350.
Yeah.
And then she'll be showing her feet in no time.
Yeah. So we've decided, like, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to do feet pics. There's nothing else for me on this.
Are your feet as hairy as your arms?
No,
My feet are
there's no hair
actually
on
not
there.
hairy, and they're tiny. So if you like abnormally small feet,
The pits of hell
what are you talking about?
singe off all the hair.
Steve, are her feet really tiny?
They are small. Yes. Actually,
Really?
we went to Taiwan and she thought that she would finally be able to find shoes. And they're
I thought you were going to say, they make my dick look huge.
I mean, I guess it does.
Yeah, it
if
does.
but he won't let my feet near him, so you know.
I'm not in
Oh, you don't want a fungal infection on your knob.
No. Just why do people do that? Why? No, I don't understand it.
People are weird.
Why is it like, are there ducks? Are they like
Ducks?
when they were a child, did they like imprint on someone's feet and they got excited about feet? Why is it people
Because
are into
I
feet?
heard-
I don't understand it.
I heard when I took my sex ed class in college.
Sex Ed 101?
No, wait. It was actually to become a sex therapist. Whatever the sex psychologist.
Wow, they were grooming kids in American schools back when you were in school?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure they were. But anyways,
Blow by blow.
there was some.
This is the third where we teach you to be a sex worker.
Well, anyways, they were talking about how the wiring for disgust and lust, and some people it's like very close and can get crossed. So things that make people disgusted can turn people on if those wires get crossed or some crap or something happens.
So they're like Fatty fuckers.
You can't say any of these words.
You can.
No, you can't.
Whale
Just-
hunters.
No, you have to use
Wait.
different terminology, Stephen. This is why it's
Flu-
hard.
Fluffy fuckers.
Tub thumpers.
Oh, I just need 300 more hours.
Oh, she did her math.
So I just have to like freaking. Oh yeah, you're one of them because you're a feeder.
A feeder?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a feeder.
Explain dinner.
I'm trying to emulate whatever we do.
You
when we
asked
go
for it,
to a
you
restaurant.
fat bitch.
No, I didn't.
Remember, I've been cooking since I was 9. I used to do okay. This doesn't sound good. It's not helping my case, but I used to do 7-course meals for my family 1 day a week, not multiple days. It would
Yeah.
So your
take me-
family's still alive.
They're,
Yes,
they're
they are.
all obese.
See,
Go on.
These were not large portions, right? Okay. So it was like a soup, a salad, an appetizer, and then I had a meat course, and I had a vegetable course, and I had an intermezzo, and I had the intermezzo was like to clean the palate, and I had a dessert. And when I counted up some of them, it was like 7 meals. It was 7 courses, wasn't always 7, could have been 5 sometimes. But I was going through cookbooks. I was living in a foreign country with terrible food that I, at that time,
Say where it was.
Israel.
Okay.
Like,
oh,
and I mean, I didn't know about the other. I mean, there is some good food there. Not to say that all of it's terrible. It's not. Just that the American food is what I missed. So then I had to make it myself. If I wanted any American food, I had to make it.
He made 7 courses of American food.
No.
do you look,
It was
do you know what?
French.
I need to say something since you're talking a lot about Israel and Jewish people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a plan, and we
Oh
should.
no. Oh my God, this doesn't sound good.
It's not like a final solution plan. It's nothing like that. But
Final
I'm-
solution.
It's a plan that I think is going to be good, and it's going to do great things for like Jewish and German relations. And
They're
it's
already
really going
doing
to bury.
fine.
No, it's going to bury the hatchet into in the whole kind of like World War II thing,
They
the
already did
victimhood
that.
thing. No, they didn't, because the Jews are still playing the victim, and the Germans are still self-flagellating about it.
In Argentina.
Yeah, well, I think, look, if we don't do something now, okay, when the African American situation dies down and the whole argument for reparations there is knocked on the head, and it never amounts to anything, and people just move on, then you're going to have the shit move somewhere else, because there's always going to be somebody grumbling about that. And we don't want to see somewhere down the line the Jews being like, we never got reparations. So I think that there's a perfect opportunity where, because you know how if you go to Germany, you've still got the Holocaust Museum, you've got Auschwitz and all of that people go to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just hear me out.
Oh God. I don't want to be canceled immediately.
No,
I'm
look, you can
300
look at this
hours
a good
away.
way. You can look at this a good way, or you can choose to take offense and look at it a bad way, because anyone can be offended if they want to be. But how about instead of keeping it like, oh, here, look at Auschwitz, and it's like a terrible place, right? Awful things happen there, right? How about you turn it into someplace nice that people will want to go to, bring the family
like
to have
Trump
a nice
is
time.
gonna do to like the Gaza.
He's not going to do anything.
No,
Well,
he's
but
gonna
just
make
imagine-
beautiful hotels.
He won't be able to do anything.
They're gonna be
As a
big,
favor-
beautiful hotels.
It's all,
I-
even if he has good intentions, it's all talk. It's not going to be able to happen. Will not.
Okay, first of all, you have no authority over this.
I have no authority. I'm just making an observation because I know both sides. I know people personally. I know what they're like, and
Yeah, well, if they don't exist anymore, they
They'll-
don't have a say.
they'll
And
just-
then a big, beautiful resort pops up with a big.
Cat's
Trump
basically
name.
saying if you glass all of Gaza,
Yeah.
and then you just like put nice stuff there, would it work?
No.
Why
Okay.
not?
Do you know why?
Is it not going to get canceled?
No.
Okay, why?
Because the extremists in Israel,
What if they're gone?
they're not going to be gone.
How?
The black hat people,
Okay.
the Haredim,
We don't have to say these
they
things.
are
and
the
they're-
ones that the extremists, and there's ones that are, religious,
Okay.
and there's ones that are secular, but
I feel like this is too touchy. Let's move on.
they
Oh Jesus. Okay. Like
they
look,
want all the land of Israel, and they will
Isn't
not
that the
stop.
end of it?
No, Gaza is part of the land that they want.
How much more do they freaking need?
They want all of it.
What's left?
There's the Golan Heights and there's Gaza or Aza, depending on how you want to.
How many freaking bombs is this going to take?
No, it's that there's a huge portion of people. So the Mexicans of Israel are the Palestinians. They do.
Well,
work
that doesn't make sense because they're also the Mexicans of America, and this used to be Mexico. Go on.
Actually, okay, yes, that's a good correlation. But the Palestinians do work for the Israelis that the Israelis don't want to do. Picking vegetables, growing vegetables, picking up garbage off the streets, cooking in restaurants.
They can import people for that.
They could,
Mhm.
like Filipinos
Which people?
are already being imported.
Filipinos, obviously, those are
But-
the best
but the
workers.
Filipino-
Everybody knows
No,
that.
but the Palestinians are the best construction. Sounds so racist. They're the best construction workers. Really, they're awesome stone layers. They are awesome. Like when they make stones that they actually have to chip it away. It's a work of art. I mean, you can't just like chip away. No, they do it. They are really good at it. And those are the people that build the building. Yeah, there could be, Israelis are
They
in
could just
charge
make
and
crappy
things.
buildings like Americans.
Israelis won't do the hard physical labor. They don't want to
that's
do it.
true though. Americans make cheap, crappy buildings because,
They
like,
make
in a
them
lot of
worse.
areas, it's like you've got earthquakes, you've got floods, you've got hurricanes and shit.
design.
So, like, you make the
Earthquakes by
cheap
design.
buildings and it would make sense to build those cheap buildings out there all the time because shit's always getting blown up anyway. So why make a good, solid building when it's just going to get blown up eventually?
Well, the buildings are solid over there. They're all made of concrete. There's no drywall. They don't use drywall.
But that's what I'm saying. Why put all the effort in when they're just going to get bombed?
America's literally
I'm
made of
not
paper and like
No,
what?
I'm not.
Sticks.
I'm not entirely. So over there, I don't know what's going on now, but over there, when I was there was no air conditioning. So when you had concrete buildings, it would.
Oh, they stay cool.
They stay cool. You just shut the windows. They have these trisim, these shutters that come. Sorry, these shutters that come. Is trisim? That is Hebrew. Yes. So, these shutters that come down and they block out all light. And when you have a Hansin, which is like the 50 days of hot weather blowing in from the desert, from Jordan area, so you'll get sandstorms and literally there'll be like piles of sand. But anyway.
Steve, sorry to interrupt, but it sounds to me like if there's a God, he didn't want people to live there.
No.
You're making it so inhospitable.
No,
it's so
hospitable.
hot that you can fry an egg outside on a rock.
No, but it's dry. No, it's hospitable. And actually, when the Israelis went there, there's more green than there was before. They've done a lot of, you could call it terraforming, but there's more forest. They plant trees all over the place, and they figured out how to grow things in the desert.
Do they plant fruits in the cities? Fruit trees.
Olives are fruit trees, so yeah.
Because
technically a fruit.
Because it's illegal here. They have fruiting trees.
They have olive trees everywhere. You'll find sometimes fig trees. Rosemary is all over the place because it's a very hardy plant. I don't remember any other fruit trees. Oh, there is mulberry trees in the parks.
Notice how like they have food forests and it's illegal here. That's crazy. We need to fix that.
But would you eat?
Yes.
They also have pedophilia, which is illegal where you are. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
so you know,
completely
swings and
acceptable.
roundabouts, cat.
Wonderful. Anyways, why do you guys have to say every word that we're not allowed to say? Just work it in there.
Wait. What have we missed?
It's enough. It's enough. We're
Well,
good.
we missed my thing,
Oh,
which Kat
no.
thinks that you're going to get a strike for, but I don't because I think it's a good idea. So Germany, right?
Oh,
They
God.
take Auschwitz. No, Kat, this could be great. So you take Auschwitz
Mm-hmm.
and you decide as a favor to make it something like that. Let's build good memories in this place.
Good
And you
memories.
turn it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good memories.
Yes.
Well, yeah, turn it into something that, like I said, families can go to and enjoy, right? Because you look at people who go to Auschwitz and it's like they're not having a good time. They're not. You know, you go on holiday, you bring the family there. Look, we're going to come to Auschwitz. It's like,
Well, you could
it's
put a spin on it, like these people came in overweight and then they lost weight. They got thin.
yeah.
So it was a
Yeah.
weight loss.
They were hyperactive when they went in. They came out not very active.
And they were given plenty of time to think because it was a concentration camp.
Okay, that's
Yes.
enough. You guys, no more
but here's
talking.
my thing. Wait,
No
no, Cat,
more
no,
talking.
Cat,
Jesus.
Cat, let us, right? So here's the
I
thing.
don't think this
So
is.
you decide that Germany is going to give something back to the Jewish community, right?
I was so close.
So you turn it into a theme park, right? And you could turn it into like a Disney World, right?
No.
No,
No.
and do
Yeah,
not
you could.
mention these rides. I don't know. No.
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 I
we're
won't
not-
mention
we're
the
not gonna-
rides,
no,
okay?
we're not going to do
I'm
anything.
not mentioning the rides,
Oh my
but you
God.
have it like, okay, you could just call it Euro Disney. So you've already got Euro Disney in Paris. Now you could have Euro Disney in Germany. And it could be a Disney park themed around Judaism. You go
Remember they
there,
used
you
to
go
have
on rides,
a theme park
you learn a
about-
little bit about their culture.
What's that?
What?
I heard something. Did they come and get you already?
No.
Oh my gosh. Eat the bugs. Yes.
Somebody's listening in.
Look.
I think that's not going to work. No.
Anyways.
It could.
No,
No,
it can't.
they want to make sure it's
Oh
never
my
forget.
gosh. Okay, anyways.
Never forget. Never forget.
Look, let's never forget that on Saturday next week, if I'm still able to live stream, we're going to have a nice little roast and we're going to hurt some feelings. Yes. Some people may cry.
Christian feelings only will be harmed.
Yes.
Satanist maybe.
Oh
Too.
my gosh, stop.
Wait, what
Sorry.
was that? What was that? Satanist baby? What?
Satanist feelings might be also harmed as well. Sorry, Imperius. And
He will be so offended. I think he's really like dead because I have messaged him for like weeks now. Nothing.
maybe that figured
Maybe
out
he's
the best.
prepping.
Oh yeah, he's gonna spend all this time prepping. He's how much you want to
He's
bet?
prepping. It would be so cool if he is. You could have that like Rocky montage music, and he's just like in his basement writing all of the shit that he's gonna say.
Oh, you know what? I bet he found a Persian girlfriend finally.
Oh no!
He won't be as big of an asshole if he's finally happy.
Yeah, when she gets those.
Oh,
gold
but she'll
chains
cheat
around-
on him before next week.
Oh, okay.
But once she gets those gold chains around his neck, she will.
What are you trying to say?
She will own him. Because I would assume it'd be like a Jewish Persian.
Oh God.
Like Shaws of Sunset. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Don't no.
They were Jewish Persians.
No more talking about any culture or religion or race.
Why are you such a pussycat?
What about
See
the
what I did there?
No, we're not talking about the chinks. We're not going to do.
the who? What? Who? What did you say?
What about African Americans, Kat? Quickly.
We're not going to talk about that.
No, you can't. Anyways, it's been a great day. We okay. Good night. Have a nice night. Bye, everyone. We are more prepared next week. We will have a roast off.
Don't lie, Kat. You're not going to be more prepared next week.
I have rap songs that you guys.
She's already made.
We are so easily going to be able to realize that they were AI songs. It's so
No,
easy.
because I sound like a man. Guys.
What?
Anyways, trust me, it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Everybody have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye now.
Like, subscribe, and just put it on repeat, like over and over on mute on like another tab. Thanks.